opponent, from the heart of darkness, weighing in at 273 pounds, Mikael Judas!
And we're underway. The no holds barred, no DQ must be a winner in this one. In one corner, we have the Priest of Punishment, former two-time Anarchy heavyweight champion, the Priest of Punishment, Mikael Judas. In the other side, we've got another former Anarchy two-time Anarchy heavyweight champion, the Deadly Sin Sev7n. In his corner, a good personal friend of mine, Jeff G. Bailey.
Well, I tell you what, as you said, both former NWA Anarchy heavyweight champions, and I feel like I get the impression that one has to get rid of the other in order to be able to get back into that title picture hunt. Both have been a thorn in each other's side, but I don't understand the pure hatred from Jeff G. Bailey. We have seen several instances, first with the fireball, thanks to him, onto the face of Mikael Judas, burned him. Mikael Judas was out for a while, and then recently with the powder being thrown into the face of Mikael Judas. And right now Mikael Judas has got a chair for one of the fans. You know he would love some of that payback right there across the back of the Deadly Sin Sev7n. And I don't understand this hatred that Jeff G. Bailey has for anybody, more or less, especially for this man, Mikael Judas.
And once again, no disqualification, because Mikael Judas turned his back on Jeff G. Bailey. That's why he has hatred for Mikael Judas. You know?
Well, Jeff G. Bailey better not turn his back right at the moment, because he just took a powder and ran across the other side of the ring. He wants no part of Mikael Judas unless Mikael Judas is caught off guard and he can do something dastardly and underhanded, as Jeff G. Bailey always likes to do. But right now, in control, it looks like Mikael Judas taking head first of Sev7n right into the top of the barricade. And again, this is the advantage of the no disqualification, no holds barred matchup. You can go anywhere you want to, because there's obviously not going to be a disqualification right here, but I'm sure making the fans on the front row a little uneasy when you have the two behemoths such as this on the outside right by them.
And right now, Mikael Judas throwing Sev7n back in the ring. This is a no disqualification match. There is no count out. There must be a winner.
Well, I, for one, am really happy that this match is taking place here with Seasons Beatings, because we have seen continuously, time and time again, some reason or another, this matchup gets thwarted, and we're not able to really see a conclusion of this. And I, for one, I feel like with the no holds barred, no disqualification, we're going to have us a winner, and we're going to see just who is the taller and the true big man here. So I'm sure to set the path of 2012 to go after that NWA Anarchy Heavyweight Championship, and right there, that clubbing blow from the Deadly Sin Sev7n right across the back of Mikael Judas.
Both these men, we've pointed out before, they are equal. The only difference between Mikael Judas and the Deadly Sin Sev7n is the experience level. Mikael Judas more experienced than the Deadly Sin Sev7n. But the thing is, when you take a look at size, you take a look at ability, you take a look at power, strength, all those other intangibles, sometimes experience just goes by the wayside.
Well, one thing that certainly helped with experience, both in former Anarchy heavyweight champions, and that certainly puts you in an elite playing field all to yourself. But right now, Mikael Judas trying to fight back as best that he can against the deadly Sev7n. If you look at Sev7n is just staggering just a little bit. He hadn't even come off his feet yet. And to any other man, he would have come off, and it took that finally for Mikael Judas to be able to knock down the big giant, and the deadly Sev7n was on the ground, and right now head first into the top turnbuckle, and Mikael Judas is going to take him to that one as well. And how about a third time? 3 times the try, and let's make it 4.
If you're just joining us, this no-holds-barred, no disqualification match, part of Seasons Beatings 2011, John the Body Johnson with Timmy D. In the ring, you've got Mikael Judas, the Priest of Punishment. On the other side, you've got the deadly Sev7n. And outside the ring, you've got agent attorney Jeff G. Bailey. Your referee for this contest is Dee Byers. But like I said, Dee Byers' job is only there to count the 3 or to get a submission, because submissions do come into play. Countouts, disqualifications do not.
And I tell you what, that's why Mikael Judas is so lethal. He throws you across the other side of the ring and then follows it in with a clothesline, as we just saw a big clubbing blow right there to the chest of the deadly Sev7n. And again, I point out that I've said before, to any other man, they would have probably, the wind would have been knocked out of them. They would have been unconscious. The match would have already been over. But these two are not ordinary men. And he follows them up again with a big-time clothesline. Jeff G. Bailey on the outside here, sweating a little. It looks a little concerned. Mikael Judas sets him up again with a big leg. The big boot right there into the deadly Sev7n. And wait, looks like he's going to the top rope here. We've seen this before from Mikael Judas. Sev7n is staggering just a little. Oh, and another big clothesline off the top rope.
Of course, this match all came about from past events between Sev7n and Mikael Judas. The most recent on NWA Anarchy television, Mikael Judas had Sev7n. Was getting ready to set him up for that El Crucifijo. Jeff G. Bailey throws the powder in the face of Mikael Judas, prompting a disqualification. And wait a minute now.
He's pointing right at Jeff G. Bailey.
Setting him up. Oh, I thought he was setting him up for El Crucifijo.
But right back on his feet. That shows you again the power of Mikael Judas, right back on his feet. And again, both men trading blows back and forth. Mikael Judas took the eye off just a little bit to look at Jeff G. Bailey, but now back into this matchup again and hammering continuously. A Sev7n, which we don't see too often, being backed right into the corner, but continuous blows from Mikael Judas. And now Sev7n was on one knee.
The deadly Sev7n, Jeff G. Bailey's monster, taking it to the Priest of Punishment. Jeff G. Bailey has a long-standing history with Mikael Judas that dates back to the pre-Anarchy days, back in the NWA Wildside. I mean, Jeff G. Bailey, well, at one time was Mikael Judas' manager back when he was Michael Adrian. I mean, when he came back, he was under the, when he came back here earlier this year, he was under the tutelage of Jeff G. Bailey. And then that all changed here just a few months ago. Mikael Judas found himself in the favor of the fans once again. And right now, you hear the fans on the side of Mikael Judas, Jeff G. Bailey directing traffic for his huge behemoth, the deadly Sev7n. And what an impressive rookie year Sev7n's had here in NWA Anarchy. I mean, he debuted just before the end of 2010. But I mean, think about this. I mean, in just the year 2011, the deadly Sev7n has been a 2-time Anarchy heavyweight champion.
Definitely very impressive as we see him about to do a high-risk maneuver off the rope here. The second rope, and you're absolutely right. That's one of the things I wanted to touch on. Sev7n had an amazing year for 2011, but just think about how 2011 was going along for Sev7n and Jeff G. Bailey. They were totally fine with going back into that title picture hunt and going after that Anarchy championship one more time, and then the return of Mikael Judas comes back and throws that plan all out the window, and I think that's part of the reason why Jeff G. Bailey has been so adamant to get that thorn out of his side and out of Sev7n's side in the form of Mikael Judas, so maybe they can go back, maybe 2012, and go back and be the true giant and go back in that title picture again.
Right now we're back outside the ring, like we said, perfectly legal. Dee Byers following the two behemoths outside the ring, getting all set up here.
And Jeff G. Bailey, as you said, directing traffic. Sev7n took a look at Jeff G. Bailey. Jeff G. Bailey nodded the go-ahead, and you see Sev7n trying to lay in those blows right there on Mikael Judas. Mikael Judas being draped across not the barricade there, but the steel post that holds the ring up there. And now Sev7n taking time to pose to the delight. Now we see a little bit of a smile from Scrooge himself, Jeff G. Bailey.
Hey, it's not a Scrooge.
Well, nothing makes him more happier than having to be able to count money and making people miserable. That is his delight. That's his Christmas gift. And I tell you, Sev7n right now following after him very methodically. The likes of Mikael Judas in the ring right here. What is Sev7n going to do here? Looks like he's setting him up. He's trying to measure him. And again, goes for that big boot with all the power and might, force behind him. And another pose, although I would have been going for the cover, I think, if I was Sev7n.
I do have to tend to agree with you there. Sev7n should have been going for the pin. You do not want to waste time on a man like Mikael Judas. Mikael Judas, very accomplished. He's a former heavyweight champion, went to Puerto Rico and dominated on that island for over a year. I mean, this man has gone everywhere. Everywhere that Mikael Judas has been, he has dominated.
Yeah, and I tell you what, if Sev7n seems to be the one that seems to be working on the back of Mikael Judas, but if I'm Mikael Judas, I would be trying to work on the back in the form of setting my man up for the El Crucifejo. But right now, Sev7n on the second rope again, going for it all. And this time, Mikael Judas caught him right there in the breadbasket. And Sev7n is reeling. And can Mikael Judas follow him up? It looks like he's going to try anyway. What's going on here? Trying to get that position and that advantage, and Jeff G. Bailey looks a little more concerned again.
He's got that sleeper hold cinched in on the deadly Sev7n. Very wise maneuvering here, because now you get that sleeper hold in. You're cutting off that carotid artery, but you're also forcing Sev7n to carry all of Mikael Judas's weight.
It's like chopping down a big tree.
Exactly, and this is where, the experience factor does come into play. This does show Mikael Judas' experience over the deadly sin Sev7n.
And right now, referee Dee Byers checking to see if there's any life left in Sev7n. He's got a 1. If it gets down to 3, well, it looks like Sev7n able to throw those elbows right there in the midsection of Mikael Judas. And now Sev7n's going to pick him up. The side will slam, goes in for the cover. Only a 1 count off of that. Wait a second. Not sure what's going on here.
Jeff G. Bailey has gone under the ring.
I just saw some feet sticking out. Jeff G. Bailey, yes, looking for something under the ring. I'm sure it's not my Christmas gift. And meanwhile, we got action in the ring with Sev7n. I think we found out why. He's got a steel chair in hand, sliding it. Hey, it's perfectly legal. May not agree with the tactics, but going to take the chair right to the throat of Mikael Judas is Sev7n.
And right now, like I said, driving the point of that chair, the very top, right into the esophagus, right into the throat of Mikael Judas, trying to cut off that oxygen that is pertinent for life, at anything. And right now, the deadly sin Sev7n standing over Mikael Judas. But the thing is, he needs to stop being so methodical. He needs to stop telegraphing everything he's going to do, because it can catch up to you. The thing is, when you've got a man like Mikael Judas, this is when Jeff G. Bailey needs to tell Sev7n, go in for the kill. Get him.
Well, you're absolutely right, and a lot of men would probably just go for that win. But why does Sev7n keep continuously looking back at Jeff G. Bailey? It's almost like he's trying to get some type of acceptance, some type of approval. What has gone on in this man's life that Jeff G. Bailey is the figurehead that you got to be getting approval from this man? And now, right now, it looks like Sev7n reaching on the throat of Mikael Judas. And normally we would see the chokeslam from Mikael Judas, but it seems like Sev7n has been taking a lot of repertoires out of Mikael Judas's game plan here. But the chair has been set up in the middle of the ring, and wisely Mikael Judas trying to fight his way out and backing Sev7n into the corner.
And right now, Mikael Judas, he keeps finding that second win. That's the one thing. That's the thing I tell people about. I've been telling you about Mikael Judas. The man can take a lot of punishment. He's not called the priest of punishment for nothing.
And right now, Mikael Judas trying to lay in some punishment right now, just spitting agent attorney Jeff G. Bailey. And now he's got Sev7n backed up into the corner again with those right fists, planting him into there. But Sev7n reverses it, and now he's going to throw some in of his own, just clubbing him back and forth. Mikael Judas trying to cover up as best he can like a boxer, being put into the middle of the ring. Well, I should say in the corner, but right now in the middle of the ring is the chair, and face first goes Sev7n, thanks to that chair in the middle of the ring.
And wait a minute. Mikael Judas calling for it once again. Had the arms outstretched. We know usually when you see that,
El Crucifejo. Well, he's got that chair, and he's eyeing up Jeff G. Bailey. You know he would love nothing more than to get that chair and wrap it upside the head of Jeff G. Bailey with a sound such as that, draped across the back of the deadly Sev7.
And now if he can hit that El Crucifixo, this match would be over.
And he's setting him up right here for the top rope. You're absolutely right. It looks like he wants to go for that. And they're continuing to work in the back, laying in that punishment. And it looks like right here, he's going to go for it all. The El Crucifixo, he's got him up. What is it?
Wait a minute.
Did you trip something? What is going on here?
The lights have gone out here. We can't see anything.
I don't hear any sounds in the ring. So the El Crucifixo must be still up in the air. I don't know what's going on.
We have no lights.
Wait a minute! Oh my gosh, it's Lane Vasser! He just planted Mikael Judas. Lane Vasser! And what is Jeff T. Bailey so happy about? Apparently, he must not be too surprised. Oh, the big elbow drop from Sev7n. Rolls over Mikael Judas. Hooks the leg, 1, 2, and that's going to be it.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner, the Deadly Sev7n.
What is going on with Lane Vasser?
Surprises galore here at Season's Beatings as Lane Vasser and Sev7n have Mikael Judas, but Lane Vasser joining Sev7n and Jeff G. Bailey in this beating.
It looks like Sev7n's got him up for the choke slam. Oh, and he just plants him as well. To the right of Jeff G. Bailey is Lane Vasser. Oh, and that's disgusting. You've got to be kidding me. Lane Vasser just made a deal with the devil.
Are you